What's going on YouTube? So one step below monster trucks are heavy duty trucks, such as this 2024 Silverado 2500 HD.
Chevy has refreshed the Silverado HD this year, giving this absolute beast more technology and capability.
But is it better than the F250 and Ram 2500? Let's go ahead and find out. But let's kick off this video under the hood because heavy duty trucks are all about the numbers. So you continue to have two different engine choices, a 6.6 liter V8 engine or a 6.6 liter Duramax turbo diesel. That's what we have today, and that's what most people want to choose because it has 470 horsepower, 975 pound-feet of torque. Both of those numbers are enhanced for 2024.
Now paired to that is an Allison 10-speed automatic transmission on both engine options, which is new for 2024 and allows that base engine option to tow more.
Now, of course, we're going to talk more about towing in a little bit, and we're going to take this beast out on the road. But first, let's shut up the hood and take a look at the redesigned exterior. Takes a side entry there. So you heard me say they refreshed the exterior design, and you can tell that pretty immediately. Just like with the 1500 Silverado, you've got those same kind of upgrades here, but they're even more beefed up because this, of course, is the heavy duty. So we've got an updated grille here. Today we've got the LTZ trim level. That is one of the highest trim levels along with the High Country, and that means you're gonna have a lot of chrome. So we have chrome going all through here. The entire grille as well as our big lower bumper, all finished in chrome. Additionally, up here at the top, we do have the hood scoop, again, traced in chrome, and we have specific Chevrolet branding on board. Now, the other big element of the refreshed exterior in the front is going to be our headlights. So starting on the LTZ trim level is where you're gonna get these really nice full LED headlights. So as you can see, you've got the crystal design there. We also have this new bracket-shaped daytime running light and turn signal indicator. And as you can see, we do have the dynamic turn signals. Those look really cool. Additionally, with those headlights also comes your LED fog lamps. Now, as far as ground clearance is concerned for the heavy-duty Silverados, they're all gonna be about 10 inches. It just depends on which configuration you choose, but rest assured, no matter what, you will always be looking down on everyone else on the road. Now, walking around to the rear design, of course, trucks usually don't change the designs too much back here, and Chevy has just slightly made a few updates, which I'll let Mason take over and talk about.
Yeah, pretty much the only updates that you're gonna notice are in the taillights. They have a slightly different overall look to them, and Drew's gonna go ahead and hop inside and see if all the elements are LED for 2024. So we have an LED brake light down here, LED reverse light, and our turn signal indicator is also going to be LED. So 3 out of 3 elements LED. That's a big improvement for 2024 on the Silverado model. Now do note you have to go for at least the LTZ trim level to get the LED taillight componentry. Now also going for the higher end models, we'll make sure that this bumper area is a nice chrome finish that really spices up the overall look and design. But I won't leave you waiting any longer. Let's go ahead and talk about towing. So as far as this particular model is concerned, the diesel LTZ crew cab 4-wheel drive, we're looking at 20,000 pounds as a maximum here at the hitch. If you're using gooseneck trailering, it can go up to 21,600 pounds. And our new maximum towing on any Silverado HD will be the 3500 model with specific configurations that can go up to 36,000 pounds, which basically is the weight of an entire house.
Now, your wheel sizes on the heavy-duty Silverados can range from 17 to 20. Here on the LTZ, we have an 18-inch silver-finished alloy wheel. They're not too blingy or anything because at the end of the day, this is still really focused on getting work done. Now, up here you'll notice we have the Z71 branding. That does mean we have a little bit of an update to the suspension. So we've got the off-road suspension. You can kind of see that back there. We have the twin shocks. So just gives you a little bit more off-road capability or when you're on the construction site. And then check out these mirrors, these absolutely massive towing mirrors. They do extend out and retract as well as power fold. We've got the chrome finish with your LED turn signal indicators right there. And we've got both the top mirror, which is auto dimming and has blind spot monitoring, and then you have the lower trailering mirror.
Now, a heavy-duty truck is all about that towing. It's also all about what you can put in the bed. And you might notice that based on our tailgate design that we have the optional multi-flex tailgate. So that does give you the option, you know, for 6 different modes, so you can work like this, although it's a little bit higher than for someone, a short king like me, would like to type on for sure. But we can also, you know, just configure it in all the different modes. That makes this bed really quite usable. Now, I do also want to point out that Chevy is offering a fully power tailgate on LT trims and above, so you can have that full power experience if you want that more luxurious feel as well. Now, as far as the bed itself, looking back here, we do have a really nice bed liner on this model. We have LED lighting on all of these sides. We also have additional lighting up there by the window. Additionally, I want to point out, here's your little handle. It helps getting in to the bed. Actually pretty easy for a heavy duty truck. You can just pop this out. Now, additionally, we do have some connectors over on this side, and on the right side, we have a traditional household style outlet, so you can keep things charged up for all of your working needs. I do also want to point out real quick that you do have the side assist steps if you just want really easy side entry, as well as this one over here for the front of the bed. Now, as far as your safety systems are concerned though, Chevy is going to be offering your 4 active safety systems on the Silverado HD. They're not standard on every single trim level, but you can option them on. We actually have adaptive cruise control optioned onto this particular model. I do want to point out though that Super Cruise is not available on the Silverado 2500 HD. So that's one difference from the 1500 High Country model. You can option that on. You cannot get that on this HD model. But guys, there is a completely changed interior design on the inside with a lot of updated technology. So let's go ahead and check that out.
Now, the updated exterior is nice, but it's really the cabin that is the big news. So let's get inside. First, I'll let you take a look at the key fob. Pretty much your traditional Chevy affair. You do have a smart entry system as well as remote start. To get inside the truck, there is not a sensor behind the handle, so just press the silver button to unlock the door. And take a look at that updated cabin. As you can tell right off the bat, we have a lot more luxury and a lot more technology than the outgoing model. But first, let's talk about the seats. So with the LTZ, that's going to come standard with the real leather seating you see here. Nice feel to this. We do have some color contrast stitching. It's available in both black or gray. And we also have the available bucket arrangement here, but you can get the big long bench if you prefer a little bit more versatility by having that center seat. Speaking of the seats, 10-way power adjusting with 2-way lumbar support. But let's go ahead and climb inside. Now, if you're under 6'5", I hope you've been doing your pull-ups at the gym, because you're gonna have to bring yourself inside of this big boy, especially if you don't have running boards, which we do not on today's example. Check out these cool animations here. Really nice look. They play nice and smooth as well. All right, so let's talk about the updated materials inside of this cabin, because you already heard me say it's more premium than it was before. So over here on our door trim, we do have a nice soft touch material through here, a leatherette with a stitching detail that's going to extend throughout here, as well as above on the upper portion, so you can rest your arm. On LTZ, we do have a faux wood trim going through there. We also have 2-person memory seating, as well as 1-touch auto down for all 4 windows, auto up for the driver and passenger. Moving to the upper dash, again, the upgraded materials continue with the soft touch plastic stitching detail, perforated leatherette through the center section, more of the nice looking faux wood trim through there. And then of course our lower panels, we're gonna have some more of that faux wood trim along the sides. But let's go ahead and fire up this Duramax diesel. Now, like always, I'm going to go ahead and switch into a first-person perspective so we can take a closer look at all the interior details. First of which is going to be this gauge cluster. Now, before I go any further, I do want to point out that this new interior design with the upgraded technology and upgraded luxury is not actually on every single version of the Silverado HD. Just like with the 1500, if you choose the lower models, you're going to get that older style classic design. But once you get to the LT trim level or above is where you get the enhanced design. Now, returning back, 12.3-inch full digital gauge cluster, just like we've seen on many other General Motors products. Very nice, crisp graphics. You can change a lot of aspects of the design. We also have the available technology package on this model, which is going to give us a very large head-up display. Tons of information is displayed in this, and it works very well. Now, coming back to the steering wheel, typical Chevy design, nicely leather wrapped. It is going to be manual tilt and telescoping. We also have steering wheel heating that starts on the LTZ trim level. Off to the side here, we've got our controls for the head-up display. You have your headlight controls and your four-wheel drive controls. But let's go ahead and talk about interior storage, because we all know you need a lot of space to stick your tools, your hammers and saws and things, and inside of here you're going to find plenty of places for that. We have a little removable tray here. We have a huge center console bin, plenty of space for tools or a nearly infinite number of coupons. We also have our two USB ports. You have a household style outlet. On the High Country, you do have a standard wireless phone charging pad, or we have it optional here with the convenience package on this model. Got your cup holders, and then you have another huge storage area right there, and you have side storage along the console and in the door trims. Now, unlike the 1500 Silverado, you'll notice we don't have a shifter down here. All versions of the heavy duty will have this traditional column mounted shifter. You do have the little toggles right there where you can control the gears manually. And when you go into reverse, you will find the HD surround vision camera here on today's example. As you can see, we've got that overhead view. You also have your active trajectory and a lot of helpful angles that you can choose between, including this one here where you can back up to a trailer. Now down below, we do have our trailer brake controller. You're going to have two more USB ports on this side. And then right there in the middle, we have, finished in a piano black trim, a dual zone automatic climate control system. All physical controls though, so you can still use this with gloves on or whatnot. You also have 3-stage heated seats. Butt and back are separated. The ventilated seats, by the way, are optional on the LTZ. Now let's go ahead and move up here to our audio system. So we do have a standard 6-speaker sound system, but on today's example, we have the optional Bose 7-speaker sound system. So let's go ahead and give it a sample. Yeah, so overall sound quality is quite good, and we have extremely large speaker grills down there on the door trim. Now let's go ahead and get into this display, because this is a very important tech upgrade. Gone is the small little 8-inch display. We've replaced it with a 13.4-inch high definition display. Not only that though, we have the brand new software that General Motors has been rolling out across most of the vehicles in their lineup. It is a new Android Automotive OS based system. So what that means is that you're going to have basically built-in Google applications. So things like Google Maps are going to be right here in the main system itself. Now you do still have wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay abilities. However, I don't have it pulled up right now because my phone is currently broken and I'm rocking a 7-year-old phone right now. Now let's go ahead and come up here to our mirror. We do have the digital rear camera mirror. This is an available option on the LTZ with the technology package. You also have your 3 HomeLink universal remotes mounted up at the top. And then I'll go ahead and open up our sunroof here. This is going to be optional for $995. As you can see though, this is just a traditional style unit. So unlike the competition to this truck that have panoramic sunroofs, the updated Silverado HD still does not offer a panoramic.
Now, of course, this is a big truck, and that means that your rear seat area is also going to be supersized, just like everything else in this truck. Now, as far as the space is concerned, we're looking at 43.4 inches of legroom, 40.1 inches of headroom, although I feel like it might actually be even more than that because they have this really big cutout here. So unless you're about 9.5 foot tall, you're going to fit perfectly fine in the rear area of this Silverado heavy duty. And I did bring my bendy ruler to see just how much space there is between my knees and the seat back. And we're looking at around 7 inches of space between my knees and the seat back. My feet can also slide up underneath the seat. I'm 5'9" for reference, and Drew is 5'8". Now, here in the center, let's go ahead and talk about that. We have 2 cup holders up here. Down below that, we have vents. These are going to be standard on every single Silverado HD. We also have 2 USB ports, a USB-C, a USB-A. And we're also going to have heated bottoms. That's going to be optional on the LTZ or standard on the high country models. No outlets or anything down here, but Chevy was nice enough to include a full-size toolkit on this particular model. It weighs about 75 pounds here, so you can do your pull-ups on the front handlebar and you can lift some weights back here with the toolkit. Now, as far as the center armrest is concerned, we have a leather wrapped one, 2 cup holders inside of here, a little storage up in front of that, and turn to your door trim. On the door trim, we're going to have a leather wrapping on the upper part, also faux wood trim down below that, as well as a leather padded armrest. And then down in the very bottom, we have a ton of door storage. Now, you might also need to use this area for some storage and for actually working. So you do have a little storage cubby back here in the back of the seat back. Has a little bit of space, and then you can also lift the seat up. That's going to include a little storage cubby right here that goes all the way across the bottom. You can also store just anything up underneath the seat, as this is a completely open area. Well guys, here we are finally behind the wheel of the Chevy Silverado HD. It has that big diesel up under the hood that we talked about at the beginning of the video, and we are very excited to show you the improvements that Chevy has made for this motor this year. So we'll go ahead and hop in with a hard acceleration, but we will also be talking about a lot of different things, and you can see that right here.
It is crazy how something so big can be so fast, but once you hear about the power numbers, you understand why. So like we mentioned at the spec dump, you got the 2 different engine options. You've got the base V8 engine, 6.6 liters. That makes 401 horsepower. However, we have the Duramax diesel. That has been enhanced for 2024, meaning we've got more power, we've got more torque, 470 horsepower, but the real kicker is a 975 pound-feet of torque. That's nearly twice the torque that the standard V8 offers you.
And it just makes acceleration completely effortless. Like Drew said, this is a big, very heavy truck, and when you just hit the accelerator, it is just so incredibly quick and just flies off the line. The torque, it just
a massive tsunami of torque.
It just really pushes you back in your seat. Just it's incredible, guys. Now, obviously, this is a very expensive option, the diesel. I think it's around $10,000 if you want it.
$9,450.
Yeah, so very expensive. It's not for everybody, but if you have the extra 10 grand, this engine option is definitely the one to get because it's very impressive. It is optional on all the trim levels as well, so you can get a base truck with the diesel instead of going up to a higher trim level. For instance, you might be able to save money that way. That way you can get the diesel.
Now let's go ahead and talk a bit about the transmission. So we have a 10-speed automatic transmission. The big news this year, though, is the fact that it's on both the V8, gas V8, and the diesel model. Previously, you had a 6-speed automatic transmission if you went for the V8, and you know that, of course, is just going to give you a lot more gears, a lot more refinement in terms of choosing the right gear to be in, And this is a really good transmission. It's really nice and smooth. When you put your foot down, it's going to get you the right gear very quickly as well.
Alrighty, and I do want to take a second here to talk about our ride quality for this Silverado heavy-duty model. Now, of course, when you buy a higher-end version like what we have today, the LTZ with quite a few options, you do want some luxury. This is for the boss of the construction site, the one that has a little bit more luxury than just the standard work truck. And I have to say the ride quality is really good. You have actually relatively small wheels for the heavy duty trucks. You have 18-inch alloy wheels on this particular model, so it really does a good job of soaking up the bumps and just making for exceptionally good ride quality. I mean, I think it feels pretty similar to what you get in a 1500 Silverado, which is certainly a good thing for this truck. Now, one thing I do want to point out is that it does not have an air suspension, which is available on the Ram truck, but you cannot get that on the Silverado. You're just going to have the standard suspension setup, which does mean it rides a little bit worse than maybe a fully loaded Ram 2500, but certainly not a bad ride quality at all. Let's get up to 55 miles an hour so we can get our sound level reading. Looks like we've settled in at 54.5 decibels. Very good sound level reading. Wow, guys, I mean, a lot of luxury vehicles we test out are in that 54, 55 range. That is very impressive for our sound level reading. And as far as how that compares to a lot of the full-size pickup trucks that we test out, that's actually one of the quietest that we've ever tested. So very good job by Chevy there on the sound level reading. And let's go ahead and also talk about one of our other car confection signature elements, our airball and slam dunk. So, Drew, do you want to kick us off with the slam dunk and I'll hit the airball?
Yeah, so the slam dunk for me is going to be the updates for 2024. I think they definitely needed some updates, especially with the cabin. The competition had, more technology, more luxury, and now we've got a lot of good enhancements inside of the cabin. Plus, I really like the new headlights on the front end.
Now, as far as our airball is concerned, I do have to say I'm still disappointed that they have not added a panoramic moonroof for something with the price tag, which you'll see in just a little bit. It is a little bit pricey to not have like a full-size panoramic moonroof. I know a lot of people are looking for that in their trucks, and Chevy's just not giving that on the Silverado. Now, I do want to point out that full-size trucks like this are not EPA tested, so we don't have an exact fuel economy figure for this Silverado 2500. That's just not available. And our warranty is going to be Chevy's signature warranty, 3-year, 36,000 miles for your basic, 5-year, 60,000 miles for your powertrain, and you do also have one complimentary service visit. Now, you all know when you buy something as big as a house, it's also going to have a pretty big price tag as well. So it should come as no surprise to you that the Silverado 2500 HD is going to be a pretty expensive truck. Now, we start at a base price of a little over $51,000 for the base WT model. Now, we do have several different trim levels. Customs $53,000, LT $55,000, LTZ starts at $63,000, High Country also starts at $72,000. Now, you do have a lot of options that you can add on. As a matter of fact, we optioned on $18,000 worth on this LTZ model, plus the $1,895 destination charge. We're looking at $81,375 as tested for this Silverado HD. But guys, that's going to wrap up our in-depth review of the refresh 2024 Chevy Silverado 2500 HD LTZ. Now, that's a tongue twister right there. Now, if you enjoyed watching this video or found it helpful in your purchasing decisions, we would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button down below. By doing so, you help give us access to the newest trucks and cars for us to show you on the channel. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot to us. And also take the chance to follow us on TikTok and Instagram. We'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.